Yeah, let's talk some NBA.
Okay. Your Knicks lost. My Mavericks lost.
Yep.
What do you think of that in general? LeBron lost. Do you have any interest anymore in the playoffs?
No. I mean, this is the worst thing that could have happened to the NBA.
Yeah.
Like, nobody wants to see an Atlanta Hawks.
Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, like, no one cares about that series. Like, they're bringing out WWE wrestlers to get some interest in the game. Like,
yeah. I'm enjoying it, but
Yeah.
I know, and I'm always like, big market team. That's what we all say as fans.
Yeah.
You need the big market teams because casuals are done. The Clippers, you don't give a fuck about the Clippers.
what's really interesting is like people say this criticism of like boxing or MMA and that kind of stuff like that. It's like, oh, you're destroying the sanctity of the sport. Like, how are you going to let these YouTubers and these influencers into the sport? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, they are the Knicks. They are the Lakers.
Right.
They have the big market team that bring in the casuals.
Right.
Nobody wants to see the Indiana Pacers play the Atlanta Hawks. That would be the worst Eastern Conference Finals in the history of basketball.
And it reflects in the ratings. Anytime there's not one of these massive market teams or dynasties in the ratings, it's always down.
Absolutely. Abysmal. I mean, they changed the playoffs hoping that the Warriors would get in.
Yeah.
Right? They literally changed the format of the playoffs.
Please get Steph Curry in there. Please.
We need to make money on this first round because we know LeBron ain't making it past that.
Yep.
And so now we're going to have to watch the Phoenix Suns and the fucking Utah Jazz.
I mean, again, I'm going to enjoy it. I don't blame anybody who's like, that shit sounds awful.
Yeah. I just don't care. I haven't been as invested this
Even
year
the
in
Nets with
basketball.
all their all-stars, it's just like, all right, they just turn it on and then they just have a blowout.
Yeah, like
it's not even that fun.
The Nets
watching.
aren't even that hateable. Like, they're so... How are you that boring as a super team?
Yeah, I know.
You know what
it is kind of weird.
You know what it is with the Nets specifically is that if this was the World Cup, the Nets would be the we don't have a country team. You know, like in like the Olympics where you compete for yourself because you can't compete on behalf of your country.
I didn't know.
Yeah, so it's like if your country got banned, like Russia got banned, so you got to compete on behalf of yourself. Like, ain't nobody give a fuck about you competing for you.
Right.
Like, this got to be bigger than you. And no one cares about the Nets. I don't care who you are. Maybe if you're a New Jersey fan, but if you were from New Jersey, you're a Knicks fan. Let's keep it a buck. Yep. Nobody was a Nets fan. I went to Nets games as a kid because the tickets were way cheaper. My dad would just drive us out there.
Same with Clippers.
Right? Like, you just go there because your dad wants you to sit closer to the floor.
Yeah.
Like, you could actually sit pretty close as a kid, and it was an amazing experience. But there were no Nets fans. There was no Nets fans then. There's no Nets fans now. So now you have this super team, but nobody really cares about it. If the Nets win, nobody in New York will care about it.
You know what? People are going to argue with you.
And we're going to fake it.
We're going to fake care, but it's not going to mean anything.
Here's a perfect argument to your point. And if you're born in Brooklyn and you're a Nets fan, fine. I don't blame you. But nobody is talking about how good it is that the Nets are good. When the Knicks had 3 playoff games at home, all you heard about was, man, it's so good to have the Garden Rocket.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Like, I saw people in Dallas being like, dude, I got emotional watching that. Like, New York basketball's back. Nobody's doing that for the Nets.
Yeah.